Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Lab. So today we are going to talk about the difference between post and put and how to use a put call in Cypress API automation. How to automate that, right? So but before that, we have to understand the basic analogy and basic concept between post and put. A simple analogy is that put means take and put where it was. Post means send email as in post office, like that. And social media, let's say you are putting a message or creating a post, it means it's a new post got created, let's say on Facebook or LinkedIn. And if you are going to edit that particular post or that particular message that is already posted, it's called a put. So that's the basic definition between post and put. But when we use post and put with respect to RESTful APIs, with respect to REST API, let's see that. So these are the HTTP methods and their meaning. Get means read the data. Post means insert the data. Put and patch. Patch we can talk about it later. Put means update the data or insert if a new ID is there. It means put can be used to insert the data also. And delete means delete the data. Okay, I'll explain you how exactly it works. Then this is again the basic definition. You can see put can be used for two purposes. It can create a new user and it returns the same user. And then it can update the existing user also on the basis of some identifier. It could be any ID also, it could be any existing email ID or any specific user ID also, you can take that. It says overrides a user with the email ID, returns the updated user. If user is not available, it will try to create a new user. It depends how exactly the URI is defined, right? So it's a better definition. You can see that the difference between I'll show you in that way. Put versus post. Replacing the existing resource or creating if resource is not exist. So put is not only used to update the user, put is also used to create the user if resource is not available in the system, in the database. But post means it's creating a new resource, like that. If you see the URL, example.com, abc.com, customer, you just pass the ID. It means I want to update this particular ID. And identify is chosen by the client. Client means it's given by the user, given by the client itself, that which user ID that you want to update. And here we don't give any user ID like that. Simple, let's see customer. And then I simple write, okay, fine, for customer, create a new customer. Create a new order for customer number 123, like that, right? It is idempotent in nature. If you put a resource twice, it has no effect. That's a very important factor here. What do you mean by this? It means you call put API or put call n number of times, it will always give you the same result. It will not impact, it will not create a new entity inside the database or in your system. Do it as many as time you want, the result will be same. Just like x equal to 1, you execute x equal to 1 n number of times, it will always be same. Just like let's say I have updated a user. You update the same user 20 times or 30 times, its server will always return the same user. It will not create a new entry in the database. Post means the moment you create a post call, do a post call, it will always try to create a new entity. If new entity, let's see, some validations are already available at the server side. If entity or the data is already there, it will try to say, okay, fine, this user is already there, but it will always try to create a new data for that, right? So this is the basic difference between put and post. So what exactly, I'll show you an example in Postman also, and then we'll try to automate with Cypress. So remember this thing, this is my client and this is my server. And then I'm going to call this API. Let's see, this is my post API. So first I'll try to create a user and this is a post call. So I'll be giving some payload over here. This payload, let's see in the JSON format, I'll be giving that. Okay, some data I'll be passing it. This is my client and this is my server. And through the post API, this is my post API, I'll be sending the request to the server. Server will process this particular request. It will store the data in this database here. This is my DB, for example. Fine. And then it will send back a response over here to the client that the data got created, and the same data and the same JSON response, you will be getting it over here, like that. So whatever the user that you want to create, let's say username, ID, password or whatever, or email ID or something, the same user will be created inside a database. One row will be created here, and then it will respond back, okay, yeah, user got created, along with a message 201 response code, the user got created. And then it will create one identifier also. For example, it will append one ID over here. For example, let's see ID is 123. This will be created by the server, and other information, their name, their email ID, telephone number, user is active or not, will be returned back to the client that okay, yes, the user got successfully created with status code as 201. So what exactly we will do? If you hit this particular API once again, for example, with the same payload, you hit this API once again, what will happen? It will create one more entry in the database. It will again process the same request. One more entry will be created over here, right? But it depends. Let's see, if you are having this email ID, some email ID at the rate gmail.com that you are passing, this at the rate gmail.com that you are passing, the same email ID is already there. Then you can put a server side validation that email ID is already there. Then it will return back with the error message that okay, no, email ID is already taken. Create a new email ID. But remember, it will always try to create a new data entry in your system. If validation is there, it will not create. If validation is not there, it will always create. So you hit this API 10 times. It means you can create 10 records in the system with different data. You can do that. So this is a feature of, this is called a post API. Now, what do you mean by put? So if you talk about with the put means same client that you have, and then this is your put API, and this is your server, and this is your database, right? Then you say, okay, fine, this user is already there. User ID is 123 is already there. In this row is already there. And this is my put call. From the client side, I'll send a request via put to the server that, okay, hey, this is my 123 ID. I want to update this, and these are the information I want to update. For example, I just want to update its telephone number. Earlier that I created this user, the telephone number was 9880. Now the telephone number got updated. It's 9990. Please update this telephone number, and rest of the things will remain same. And this is my user ID, right? And this is the previous URL. I'll send this request. Server will process this particular request, and it will try to update the same row. Okay, so in the database, the same row for telephone number, now it is updated to, instead of 9980, it will be 9990 now, right? This is the first thing. It means, and then it will return the response back to the server saying the same information that, okay, hey, this time now the telephone number is 9990, got updated along with other information, and this is the ID of the user is 123 only. So it will respond back that, okay, yeah, user got successfully updated here. Fine. Then response code we will see, either it could be 200 also, or from the same family, from the 2XS family, you can see that, right? So remember this thing, it will always try to it will always try to update the user. So if you hit this API 10 times or n number of times, you hit this API once again, it will always try to create and it will always try to update the same user, same row again and again. It will not try to create a new entry here. No, it will not create a new entry. That is the main difference, post and put. But for example, let's say this 123 user is not available, right? And then I'll again hit this particular API where 123 is not even available. The resource is not even available. You hit this API once again via this and saying, okay, yeah, these are the information. This is my 123 and other information is there. This is my ID, right? Or some other information like telephone number and all such things. The server will be processed, request will be sent to the server, and the server will check, okay, yeah, data is not there. It will try to create a new entry over here. Plus means it will try to create a new row in the system. So post can be used for creating the data if the data is not available, if the resource is not available, and it will be used to create or update also if the data is already there. If you want to update a certain information, you can do that. But when you update it, this is called idempotent feature. What exactly the use case? When you try to automate, how will you automate this thing? So to automate this, what exactly we will do? First, we will try to create a user. So my first step is that create a new user. How will you create a new user? You have to use a post call, right? And then you have to pass some request body like JSON body, that which user that you want to create. User will be created. After that, what will you do? From this particular, when you create it, you will get a response body. So this is called response body. Third step is what? From the response body, you will get an ID. what is this ID? Let's see, for example, this is my user got created and it's having one user ID. So I get this particular user ID, and this user ID I'll be using it for my post call. So then I'll be for my put call, actually, not the post call, just to update the user. So then I'll be using for update. So now I want to use update user. Which ID? This is the user ID. For example, the user ID was 123. The same user ID 123, I'll be using it over here, and then I'll try to hit the API, and then I'll get the response here. Right, and then from the response, this will be my fifth step, that I'll try to validate the user got updated or not, like this. So when I try to update the user, I'll be passing this 123. Along with that, I'll be passing some extra information, that now the telephone number I want to update, its email ID that I want to update. So first time that we created, let's see, new user, the telephone number or email ID was, let's see, abc@gmail.com. Now I want to update its email ID to xyz.com, like that. Okay, then validate like this. So first you create the user with the post call, and then get the user ID from the response programmatically, and then we will try to put or update the user with the same user ID, and then we will try to validate that. This is the use case that we have to write. Okay, now I'll first show you in Postman, then we will write the code quickly. So let's go to Postman, and I'm going to use the same API. For example, let's say you just create a post call with the post user. You can see that, okay, this is my, let me remove this. This is my user API where you just want to pass, this is my request body. This is a post call header I have already added over here. And let's see, I simple create test automation. I'll write Naveen, and I'll write, this is Naveen new @gmail.com, and this is a request body that I want to send. Simple send this request to the server, and you can see that, okay, the user got created successfully with this ID 1371. Now I'll do a put call. So I'll create a put call over here. This is a put call, and user / which user that you want to update. So I'll paste this particular 137 ID, and then which information that you want to update. So let's see the initial post call. It was like that with this request body. Then I'll change my request body. Okay, that was the user 1371. The name, instead of Naveen, I'll be writing Naveen Automation Labs, right? And the user ID also, email ID also I want to change. Let's see, Naveen new automation @gmail.com. And this user is still active. So I want to update these two attributes in my system for this particular user 1371 ID. And then it's a put call, the same header authentication I'm passing it, and same JSON payload, updated JSON payload I'm passing it. So let's run it and let's see. And you can see that, okay, yeah, see, ID is 1371, and then the email ID got updated, and the name also got updated, like that. And when you try to fetch this user once again with the get call, you simple use this 137 once again, and see this, the updated value you are getting it. So when you did a post call, that time you created a new user with this name, and the email ID was this. Now we have updated it. So whenever you want to fetch the new value with the latest, with this ID will always remain same. You will always be getting the latest value. And remember this thing. Now see, I'm going to call this put call n number of times. See, it's not creating a new ID. It means it's not creating a new entry in the database or in the system. Every time, this is what I told you, it will not update, it will not create a new entry. It will always update the same object. It will not change the object state. This is the difference between post and put. Remember this thing. Simple. Now let's do it with Cypress. How will you try to automate with the help of Cypress? So I'll do one thing. Under this particular folder, I'm going to create a new file. Let's see, this is my update user call. So I simple say, oh, let's see, this is my put user.js. I'll be writing it. Okay. And first, exactly, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a post to create a user. So let's see, I'll do one thing. Let me just copy this entire thing, and then we will just try to update this. Update user, and then now just paste it. So this is my post that's already written. As I told you, first we have to create the user, and let's see, I'm creating the user over here, and then the body I'm passing. I'll do one thing, just body, I'll take it from the Postman. Okay, you can use a fixtures also in Cypress, but let's see, let's avoid fixture right now, and let's see, this is the body that I'm using it. Okay, so here test automation, instead of Naveen, I'm writing some different name. For example, let's see, test automation Cypress, and gender is male, and then I'm writing Naveen Cypress at gmail.com, and the status is active. So this is a user will be created. I'm using this particular access token that is already declared here. Authentication is required for this API, and I don't want to use the concept of fixture, so just remove it and remove this from here as well, the closing bracket. Fine, so this is the part one, create user. The user will be created, and then whatever you want to validate, you can validate that. For example, let's see, I want to validate test automation Cypress name. So this is a name I just updated over here. And what is the email ID? The same email ID, let's see, Naveen Cypress @gmail.com that I want to validate. Okay, let me put in a single quote. And then a status and gender also you want to validate, you can validate that. So these are the 4 important things that I want to validate. After that, second call. But before that, we have to get the user ID also, right guys? Because when you create the user, we have to fetch the user ID, and the same user ID I'll be using for my updating the user. So this is my update user, and this will be what? This will be my put call. So I'm using once again cy.request method is what? This time I'll be using a put method, and same user ID I'll be passing. See, in the Postman also we exactly did the same thing with the put after user /1371. So dynamically we are fetching this user ID, appending it over here using the same access token, and then doing what? And then we have to pass the body also. It means we have to pass the updated body. So let's do one thing. This is my header, put a comma, and then what exactly you want to update for this user ID that you have already captured. Let's see, instead of test automation Cypress, I'll be writing test automation Cypress updated. So we will check this. Okay, yeah, updated user is coming or not with the name. And let's see, status is, I would say I want to inactive this user. So let's see, inactive, and I want to update my email ID also. So I'll simply write Naveen Cypress updated @gmail.com, and the mail is mail only, gender is mail only. So 3 things I have updated, and then these 3 things I want to validate also. So for example, let's see, first I'll validate. So I'll just do one thing, just copy these validations and just paste it here. Fine. And first of all, when you update, right, with the put call also you will be getting 200, okay, and with the post call you will be getting 201. So make sure that, okay, with put call I'm using 200, and with post call I'm using 201. And then I want to validate that test automation Cypress updated or not. Okay, so same value I'm getting it or not, and email ID is also this, and the user should be inactive now. Perfect. And then the mail will remain same here. So this is a complete test that I have written, a complete flow. You have to write within the same it block, guys. Remember this thing. I'm not using this random generation of the email ID that you can add it later. I'm just doing the hard coded values, or you can pass the values from the fixture also that we have already done. So let's run it and let's see it is working or not. So let's start Cypress. Let me just clear the console and then write npx Cypress open. Now put user.js. So let's click on it and let's run it. It is working or not. So browser got opened, and see, it's awesome, working fine. But here we forgot to update this payload.status. Let me just quickly update the script thing. Let me just save this, and we have to call once again. Let me just close it and run it again. Okay, so here it's saying that first of all, user got already created. It's saying, you can see the email ID already taken because this is the second time we are calling it. So let me do one thing. Let me just update the user once again, a new user once again. Let's see, this is my Cypress11 @gmail.com. Same Cypress11 @gmail.com I was validating, and when doing the put call in the body, I'll simply say, okay, Cypress updated @gmail.com. It should be updated to 11 @gmail.com, like that. Okay, and then you save it and let's see. This time it's absolutely working fine. You can see that first it is doing a post call, 201 validated, and then these 4 assertions got passed. This is the response body that we are getting it, and then see the user ID is 1383, and appending 1383 with the next put call, and then checking 200, and then checking, see this, can you see that Naveen Cypress updated 11 is coming over here, and with the latest name, and the status is inactive. So earlier status was active. You can see that earlier status was active, and same thing you can see it over here as well. See, earlier status is active, and the email ID is Naveen Cypress 11, and Test Automation Lab Cypress is the name. Okay, this is the response we got from the post call, and the same request same user we are updating with the put call with the new latest email ID, updated email ID, and the name, and the status is inactive. I can do one thing. I just copy this 1383 and cross check in my Postman with the get call, the same information you are getting it or not, 1383, and then you see it. Awesome. Test Automation Cypress updated and Naveen Cypress updated 11@gmail.com, which is absolutely working fine here. So this is a complete scenario we have written. One thing you can write after that, you can add one more chain for cy.get. You can still call a get method that while fetching the value, are you getting the latest value or updated value or not? That also a nice use case or last point you can add it. So it will be like post call, then put call, and then get call. Okay. So here if you write it, one more thing you can write it, and then you simple say once put is there, you simple try to fetch the data, get the user once again with the get API. Okay, so we have to use the get API with the same user ID that you are using it, and then you should get the updated user, you should get it. Please try. I'll push this particular code right now. So let me just push it right away to my Git repository. So I'll simple check the status quickly. And yeah, this is the only file that we have updated. Git add this and get commit -m put call, and then get push. So let's simple write git push -f origin master. Okay, so this is done, and you can see this particular URL. This is your repository URL where just simple go there and then check the latest code is available there. That's all for this particular video, guys. I hope you got it. Let me know if you have any issues, and it's pretty much clear the difference between post and put. This is what you have to explain at a time of interview, and the same thing we have done with Cypress and the Postman as well. I'll see you in the next video with the delete call. Till then, take care, and please subscribe to the channel if you are learning from these videos. Take care, guys.